Yo, welcome back to Isaac of the Dead. I'm gonna try to make this video quick. I always try to do that because I'm not editing these things no more. I'm trying to update my editing software so I don't have to rely on some janky ass editing software. But let's get down to it. The Acolyte episode 8 was released 2 days ago at time of recording, and I checked out. It was fun for a while, but then I'm like, wow, that final episode was kind of a spit in the face. So I checked out. I took a couple days to formulate what this was going to be like, what this review was going to look like. I was going to see what my friends were saying, what some other YouTubers were saying. And nothing's really changed. The needle hasn't really moved that much. All I could say is it was so bad and it was insulting on another level for me. And I guess that's because deep down I still have a passionate love for Star Wars in some capacity. But Disney Star Wars, I have zero love for. But let's get right into it. We'll talk over a couple spoilers here and what we can actually discuss about this show in its entirety, or what we can about this episode. I might make another video about the show overall, but let's talk about this episode first. So the obvious stuff, Soul being blamed for everything. The twins, May and Osha, the victims 1 and 2, end up switching sides. May becomes a good guy, Osha becomes a bad guy. It's so predictable at this point, but I almost thought that they were going to do something different, as in nonsensical, because everything leading up to this point has been a subversion of expectations in the worst possible way. Every time you think that it's going to go somewhere, it goes the opposite direction, which isn't really good storytelling because the setups do not meet the payoff expectations. That's not how that shit works, right? The payoffs also don't have good setups. There's nothing about the show that's very redeemable. If I were to sit here and say what are the positives of this episode, or even this show in general, I mean, I guess they got inspiration from good stuff. Kill Bill, maybe Frozen, if you wanted to throw Frozen in there, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, that kind of stuff. But what's to take away from this? All that we've learned is that Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy want to uproot Star Wars canon just so that they could replace it. This entire show has basically been a reboot of The Phantom Menace. Let's be honest here, all right? And, this part was insulting to me. When they went back to Hoktua, or the place that Jake Skywalker killed himself using the Force, ODing, by the way, ODing. Of course, they say it's unknown planet. Fuck you. I don't think it's unknown planet. It's obviously Hoktua, all right? And we see that Plagueis is there. Now, of course, they don't name that it's Plagueis, so it could very well not be Plagueis for all we know. They could change it and make it not Plagueis. The indication is that this creepy guy who's like, hiding in the cave, creeping on Asian Ezra Miller, which is weird, by the way, they're indicating that that guy is Darth Plagueis. Now, if I remember correctly, Darth Plagueis, Plagueis the Wise, the meme that everybody talks about, he managed to use the Force. He was so powerful that he ended up creating life, which it was implied, but not specifically stated, that him being able to create life is what created Anakin Skywalker. Now, there's, old scripts of Revenge of the Sith that say that Palpatine actually learned it from Plagueis to create Anakin Skywalker, and therefore Palpatine, is actually Anakin's Force daddy. Well, as cool as that seems, it only causes more problems. I would prefer that it remains a mystery, because the idea of a immaculate Force conception has a religious undertone to it that is part of what makes Star Wars special, is that it's not overtly, metaphorical or allegorical. It's just a part of a mythology, right? Well, Disney Star Wars wants to break the mythology. You want to make it for modern day audiences. That way it can no longer be timeless. They put an expiration stamp on something that was timeless by also introducing lesbian space witches. How the fuck do you mess up lesbian space witches? You want to take it back to Pulp Fiction era, lesbian space witches, do it Conan style? I'm all for it, man. But when you make it cringe like this weird, oh, the Force is actually a thread. Oh, okay. Oh, guess what? These two lesbians scissored and created twins. How did that happen? No fucking clue. No fucking clue. But it diminishes Anakin Skywalker as a character. It diminishes Anakin Skywalker's journey from Anakin to Darth Vader to redeemed. And it diminishes Luke Skywalker. It diminishes Obi-Wan, Yoda, everybody. Nobody matters anymore. It's all dog shit now. It's just fucking trash. And so basically, it's implied here that Chimere is the Sith acolyte of Plagueis. Why even bother giving a cameo to Plagueis in this episode when you're just going to diminish him anyway down the line? Well, we got another character we're going to drag through the mud here in a little bit, so let's take a second here to start finishing up the plot. Chimere and May go back to Brendok, where the lesbian space witches are, or at least they're rotting corpses for the most part. And they find out that Soul is also there, the Jedi Master Soul. And it's like, I'm trying to remember this because it's taken me a few days to, sorry. Oh, God. Saul goes back to this place. He goes back to this place. There's a Jedi battle, which their lightsabers look like those popsicles that you eat when it's really hot in the summer. They don't look very great. The choreography is pretty trash. I guess it's also implied. You have to make a lot of implications based off of what the evidence is provided. And God damn it, I'm having the hardest time remembering because it's almost like nothing happens. It's almost like nothing really happens in this show, right? I remember the damage because it's so utterly shit. But in terms of plot points, I can't remember anything. And I'm struggling to do it in one take because I don't want to edit this fucking video. So Soul is at this place and he's fighting Chimere, and then the mystery of how do you kill a Jedi without a weapon is Osha finds out the truth about Soul killing her lesbian mom while she was turning into dust, and then she force chokes him to death, and he sits there and he simps for her. All right. So then Vanestra Roe v. Wade shows up to Brendok with like 13, 14 something Jedi, like a whole bunch of fucking Jedi, right? And they're all like, all right, time to go kill Soul because we believe that Soul is behind all the death of the Jedi in episode like 4 or 5, right? I'm just sitting here thinking, how did you even come to this conclusion? How did it get to this point? And when they get there, none of the Jedi die. I assumed that all the Jedi would die, but Chimere, May, and Osha, they all go away. They all manage to escape. And Chimere uses the Force to wipe May's memory. A new Force ability just dropped, everybody. He uses the Force to wipe May's memory so that she forgets Osha, her sister, and Chimere. You know, the stranger guy, right? And when he does it, she's hugging her sister. You'd think that he would wipe both their memories by doing that, but he doesn't. It just doesn't work. And so when she gets captured, she's just chilling. She's just chilling under this tree that, you know, she grew up under with her sister. And when the Jedi show up, they're like, oh, that's the sister that we're looking for. And she's like, I don't remember anything. It's like, bro. So they take her back to the Jedi Temple and they're like, what do you remember? And she's like, I remember having been at this place. I remember being at this place when it burnt down. I remember a fire. And so apparently he didn't do a good job about erasing her memory because she basically gave away everything to Vanestra Roe v. Wade. How the fuck? Oh, God. So then Vanestra Roe v. Wade, she's contacted by the Jedi, not the Jedi, the Republic Council, the High Council of the Republic, and they're like, we need to investigate the Jedi now because they're corrupt. And this is just all to shit on the Jedi. This whole thing was just to shit on the Jedi. The entire thing was just fucking crap. And so basically, she blames Soul for the death of all the Jedi and that he ends up taking his own life. The fact that nobody investigates this any further than it already is and the Republic just believes it means enough for them to swipe it under the rug on the histories of the Jedi. And it also means that, well, Plagueis, Plagueis learned how to create life from lesbian space witches. Virgin's my fucking ass, all right? It's the space virgin or whatever it was called. To imply that man Osha were oh so powerful that, it required all the Jedi to show up to Brendok. And when they showed up, they're like, we need to kill May and Osha because they are too powerful to exist. By that logic, if the Jedi found Luke or Anakin Skywalker in the Phantom Menace, they would have murked his ass immediately because of the way that he was born, because of the way he was created. But no, black lesbian space witches came before him, so therefore it's completely justified, right? No, it's not. Ki-Adi-Mundi is an asshole. The Jedi Order is full of shit. It diminishes everything. It destroys the entire legacy of Star Wars. It's all fucking crap. And I shouldn't be surprised. This goes way back to The Force Awakens of all things. This just, it's so disrespectful. But I had to take a breather while watching this, and now all the memories are coming back to me because I've taken a few days to let this mellow through. And so this show has the fucking gall. This show has the fucking gall to bring in all these cameos like Plagueis, and at the very end of the episode, Yoda. They bring in Master Yoda for a little small cameo to prove that, yes, he was around. He knew about all this shit. So he's full of crap too, all right? As if Baby Yoda wasn't diminished on the mystery of Yoda from the beginning. They brought Yoda back and dug him up from his fucking grave so that they could say, yep, he's an asshole too. Jesus. Hopefully this rant is over because I can't remember much of else what happens. I guess Osha becomes a Sith Lord. She bleeds one of the crystals of Soul's lightsaber and becomes a new Sith apprentice because Chimere's trying to overthrow Plagueis. But it's probably not going to work, assuming that they even stick to canon. I'm kind of hoping they erase everything and start the fuck over. Leave George's canon alone. If you're just going to reboot Phantom Menace, just fucking do it. All right, just get it over with. Reboot the prequel trilogy. Reboot the original trilogy. Reboot whatever you need to just to make your canon work. Because at this point, there ain't no point in calling it Star Wars canon. People who defend it, the people who defend it are the most disgusting because they will call you and me, but most importantly you, racist, sexist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic for not liking something or for noticing common patterns of cringe or even canon breaking stuff. They do this shit because it's in spite of you, because they fucking hate you. They've always hated you. So I ain't see no point in defending this show. There's very little good to come out of it. All I could do was be angry about this, but you know what? If they decide to do a season 2, season 3, season 4, I say bring it the fuck on. You know what? That was bad. Excuse me. But I can take it. Your boy can take it. And if they got enough material to feed me for a couple years, let's keep making these videos. Let's keep roasting them bitches. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. So, now that my rant and diatribe is now completed, I will say this to Disney Star Wars. The war is never going to end with the attitude that you have. The culture war is not going to be won by people like you. And for as long as you treat your fans like this, for as long as you treat the IP like this, you will never, ever recover. So that is the story of Disney Star Wars. You are a legacy of failure. Congratulations. This has been Isaac of the Dead. If I missed anything, please share in the comments section below. If you like what I said, please say something, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like something I said, try me, motherfucker. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. Don't smoke crack.